Hello YouTubers, it's Jennifer, and this is part 2 of cooking my dinner with the same outfit. Yes. Alright, so I'm going to make campfire stew now. Now, when I read this recipe, I had no idea what gammon steak was, and I should have looked it up before I went grocery shopping. Gammon steak is actually pork, that's what I found out. However, I decided to buy this top round right here, and I had a good deal on it, so I was like, yes. It does say to put it in a Pyrex dish and bake it. However, I'm going to put it in my big giant pot, my spaghetti pot, stew pot, chili pot, whatever you want to call it, and hopefully it will cook in here. It takes about an hour and a half in the oven, so I'm assuming if I put everything in here, you know. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is we got to roughly chop 2 onions. Since these onions are pretty small, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 of them. So let's get to chopping. Alright, after you've got all of your onions roughly chopped, then it says 2 red peppers. Well, they're out of red peppers, so I just got 2 yellow peppers. The only difference really is the taste, so we're going to roughly dice the peppers. We're going to take all of these and throw them into the pot with some olive oil and get them simmering. Alright, while those are simmering, we're going to go ahead and take our 4 cloves of garlic and roughly chop these up. Once you get the garlic chopped up, you need 4 stalks of celery, but I'm going to go ahead and use this whole thing again. Alright, then after you cut your celery up, you will take 4 carrots. It does not say peel them. You do have to take off the ends, obviously, but it does not say peel them, but it does say thinly sliced. So we will try to thinly slice these. Alright, so these are almost fragrant, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off for the moment. Alright, so the next step after the onions and peppers are fragrant and all of your first half of your veggies are diced up and put into a bowl for the side, you want to take your butternut squash. I tried to pick out the smallest one, and I'm going to cut this in half, and then I have to peel it and chop it up into chunks. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down for this part because it's going to take a little bit. So. Alright, once you've got your squash peeled and gutted, then you're going to roughly chop it. So let's go ahead and do that. Once you've got all of your squash cut, I went ahead and poured out the, measured out the chicken broth here. It is 2 1/4 cups roughly of chicken broth. I did restart my vegetables on low. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut this up. Once your onions and peppers are tender enough, then you're going to add everything else into the pot. I'm going to add my squash, my carrots, my celery, and my garlic. You have one diced or chopped tomatoes. This is a 14.5 ounce can. Then you're going to add 4 cans of tomato puree. Then you're going to add 4 tablespoons of tomato puree. I cannot find tomato puree, so I'm just going to add the tomato sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add this whole thing. I know it's 8 ounces. I know that's way too much, but then you want 1 can of kidney beans in the chili sauce. You want 1 of those cans, which is 14.5 cannellini beans, which I already rinsed and drained. You want 1.5 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning. Tablespoon, it says sweet paprika. I couldn't find sweet, so I just have smoked paprika. 1 tablespoon of that. You need 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire. 1 teaspoon of Tabasco. I just have this hot sauce. You can use any hot sauce you want, so just add. And you can usually season it as you taste. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and stir it up here. Alright, so I just realized that this pot is not going to work for this stew. Hence is why you need a baking dish. I'm going to spray this out with oil or cooking spray, and then I'm going to turn on my oven to 200 Celsius. I'll have to Google what degrees that is in the US, because this is a UK recipe. Then I'll pour all this into the pot and bake it for 1.5 hours. So that's what I'm going to do now. Let's go ahead and spray my pan. Alright, so after Googling 200 Celsius, I'm going to go ahead and put it on to 295 is 200 degrees Celsius. So while that is warming up, I'm going to go ahead and pour my Now I had to put this casserole dish or baking dish on a flat pan thingy because it's a little overflowing and I don't want it to spill out in my oven. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and put this on for 2 2 hours to start. Okay, see you in 2 hours.
A few things I did wrong. Let's see if you noticed them. But, okay, first thing, I should have used pork, aka cured ham, because gammon steak is actually cured ham. But I don't care for pork products at all, so I use steak because steak is more of a stew meat to me. That's just my preference. I'm sure you can use vegetarian options if you're a vegetarian. 2, I should have cut off the ends of the squash before I started peeling them, not started peeling them and then cut the ends off, but either way. 3, I should have not used the entire 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I still believe that tomato puree and tomato sauce are the same thing. I'm probably wrong. I probably should not have used the whole 8 ounces, but it ended up working out really well. So, then when I decided to put everything into the baking dish, I should have used 2 baking dishes instead of 1. So, that was a fail. And then the 5th thing I should have done is I should not have used the entire thing of celery. But again, I like celery, and it ended up working out really well. Alright, so the only thing that you guys missed, this is the next day, by the way, while I'm doing my outro, is once we took the stew out of the oven with the baking dish on the flat tray cookie sheet, we decided that some of the carrots were not cooked all the way through, so they were a little hard. So we went ahead, aka Jim went ahead and poured it all back into this pot. So this is what it looks like. I know my camera battery is charging, so I can't really show you the best angle. I'm trying to show you guys here a little bit. See if I can. There you go. So that's what it looks like here. And the reason why we put it back into the big pot is because in case we wanted to add extra broth to this and make it more of a runny stew, like a stew should be, as opposed to a really thick stew. That way the carrots will cook all the way through. The squash did cook all the way through. The meat did cook all the way through, so that's good. But some of the carrots are not cooked all the way through. So I'll probably end up going ahead and reheating this, covering it, reheating this for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, I'm not really sure, until the carrots are fully cooked. And the 8 ounces of tomato sauce, like I said, ended up working out perfectly because it added more juice to it. I think the baking dish, like I said, I should have split up the stew so everything would have cooked thoroughly and evenly. But this is okay because initially I wanted to put it in the pot anyways. But it's a good thing that I didn't because there wasn't enough sauce to cook everything on top. So, on that note, if you did like this video, hit that big thumbs up for me, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell notifications because my videos upload whenever they feel like it with a hotspot. And on that note, until next time, Cooking with Jenny, you guys stay awesome. Bye!